Have you or your loved one found yourself smack dab in the middle of a global pandemic? Can't leave the house, can't hug grandma, and don't get me started on the horrors of taking classes over Zoom. Hi, I'm Mick, and today I'm going to talk to you about COVID rapid testing. Over the past 2 years, many of us have lived in nations ill-prepared to protect their citizens. Leaders scrambled, the WHO fumbled, and not everyone took the virus seriously. You know who I mean. Add vaccine hesitancy to the mix, and you've got yourself quite a pickle. In the beginning of the pandemic, it was all PCR this, PCR that because of the higher accuracy. But don't hate on rapid. These lateral flow tests are still 92% accurate and can be performed in the comfort of your own home. That is, if you can find one. So how did this all happen? Here in the US, we like things nice and complicated. Test manufacturers requested emergency use authorization from the FDA so their tests could be used during the public health emergency. Just picture jumping through lots of hoops and then set those hoops on fire and blindfold yourself. That is the EUA process. And if you're wondering if the WHO process is any easier, think again. This process caused months of delays and reduced the visibility of COVID numbers, exacerbating the spread. But it's fine. It's all fine. And speaking of the government, where were they on helping fund test development? Test manufacturers also had to take risks in terms of output. Too much production resulted in unsold inventory filling up warehouses or being destroyed. Not enough meant they weren't able to fulfill orders, leaving citizens without vital tests. Many businesses invested millions to meet demand, only to have case numbers disappear overnight, then reappear months later, then disappear again, and quadruple during the holiday season. I'm looking at you, Delta and Omicron. By the time the government stepped in to help fund production, we were well behind the 8 ball. And oh boy, did industrialized nations ignore the testing needs of the developing world. You bet. The African continent seemed to have the lowest rates of COVID during the pandemic, and it's not because the disease magically didn't affect them. It's because they didn't have equal access to supplies with which to test their people. And did I mention all these tests are mostly made of plastic, which requires oil and gas drilling to produce? And all that plastic is not recyclable. Plus, a use test has all sorts of biological fluids on it, so the only way to dispose of it is to throw it out. I can see my positive test now, sitting in a landfill or floating around in the ocean. By now you may be thinking, I'm trying to move on from the trauma of the pandemic, so thanks a lot, Dasha, John, and Melissa, for this horrible trip down memory lane. Well, have no fear. If you find yourself in another pandemic, I have a solution for you. Introducing ridiculously affordable, plastic-free, idiot-proof diagnostics. Mostly. Ridiculously affordable, plastic-free, idiot-proof diagnostics, or RAPID, is the new flavor of testing for the next pandemic. RAPID is a state-of-the-art all-in-one solution to encourage the proper protection of your civilian population, without the major negative impacts on Mother Nature, who, if we are not more courteous of, will kill us faster than the next plague. Here's how it works. The experts at Kintaro Fin and Trip2 Industries have developed a revolutionary 5-step approach: streamlined approval, appropriate funding, effective distribution, sustainable materials, and no-nonsense training. To streamline approvals, we'll set up a partnership between your nation's regulatory bodies and manufacturers to ensure that there is an appropriate balance between quality and speed of production. In addition to a focus and investment on vaccine development and distribution, RAPID includes proper funding for test manufacturers to ramp up production quickly, making these tests free. Now let's talk distribution. I don't know about you, but I don't like ugly crying in the aisles of CVS when I can't find tests, or being the victim of ruthless price gouging on Amazon. And while I do appreciate my man Joey B sending out free tests, we needed more than 2 boxes. RAPID also ensures accurate tests are readily available for anyone who needs them, including developing nations. This will help identify and slow global outbreaks faster, which is better for all of us. While plastic is low cost, lightweight, and easy to transport, it contributes to 30% of lateral flow tests' carbon footprint, a whopping 1.9 million kilograms of CO2. The RAPID program gives you access to the most sustainable test ever. More tests packed into a box? 10. No instructions pamphlet? less paper waste, and limited single-use plastic components. Now that's what I call environmentally friendly. And all your questions about how to use the test? Answered. Are you a tech-savvy youngin' with a smartphone? Then we've got the app for you. It has easy step-by-step instructions and a way to log your test results. Neat! Or maybe you're a cranky old boomer who's not so sure about all that tech mumbo-jumbo. Give us a call. Our 24-hour hotline will answer all your questions. Instruction pamphlet only available on request. Wow, Rapid sure is amazing. Are you sold? Let's hear from our audience.
What do you want?
Appropriate government funding, streamlined approvals, sustainable materials, and helpful training.
How do you want it?
Effectively distributed and in packs of 10.
When do you want it?
I hope I don't live through any more pandemics and I never need this system.
So be prepared for your next pandemic with Rapid. Ridiculously affordable, plastic-free, idiot-proof diagnostics. Let Rapid heal your nation. Call us today at 1-800-GO-RAPID and say, Mick, I'm ready for Rapid. And if you call in the next 12 minutes, we'll throw in universal health care.